Okay, hello and welcome everybody to the party. Welcome to the party. I said a thing, but I didn't do so great because I flubbed words. I'm going to keep talking until I eventually reach a point, which is now. I am the Bardic Knock. Hello, my name is underneath my face. You can find more of me on the Twitters. If you want to follow, I don't know what that is. Apparently, you're playing an imaginary keyboard. Oh, no. Anyhow, tonight we are playing Dungeons and Dragons, specifically 3.5, because 5e is new and scary. And I haven't learnt it yet. It's on my list, which is right under figure out what I'm doing with my life and buy bread. It's quite high up there. But I'm still stuck on that first one for the last 25 years.
Don't forget Nutella. Good for both bread and life.
Ew.
So, I said my name, Bardic Narc. It's there. I'll say it one more time, Bardic Narc, because it's a cool sounding name, I think. Or it's stupid. You decide. And the only way you can really tell me, follow me on Twitter and send me messages telling me how stupid you think it is or cool. That's totally up to you. I'm going to let my players introduce themselves. Archer.
Sup? My name is Archer. I'm playing Keldor the Knoll Knight, who was very tempted to decapitate someone last session. Or at least attempt to.
Yeah.
You're tempted to decapitate me every week. I thought this was old news.
No, not you. I'd take your kneecaps out.
Which is approximately Keldor's shin.
Ow, would you blow
Ankles.
hard at them? Give them a stern look?
Oh god, no!
Snap out! Not again!
So, TJ, that's probably a great way for you to introduce yourself.
Falling into an abyss of broken kneecaps. Ah! Hi, my name is TJ, and I'll be playing the delightful Flick, our darling rogue, and making...
Making, he says, getting really quiet.
That was the two empty pieces of bread.
Yeah, he's putting food in his face hole.
Ah.
It's decided, voted upon by 9 out of 10 scientists. The face hole is the best place to put food. Other ones require specific king.
What about the other 1/10 of the scientists?
They
The other
have
ones are fixated on the
special
phrase
king.
delightful flick.
They're the kinky ones.
So, Varka, I think that was a great way for you to introduce yourself.
Yes, I am Vaco. Well, no, I am Dumpling. I play Vaco.
It's becoming one!
No! My identity crisis. But I am not on a plane this time. I am not working, and I am happy to be here to play.
Yay! We has our sorcerer.
Yeah, it's always good to have the sorcerer. And you'll have some fun things to discuss when we actually get into playing. And then let's throw down to Rebecca. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, Rebecca. I play the half-orc bard +1 monk, Primrose. Yay.
For a second with the pause, I thought you'd forgotten Primrose's name. I was like, wait, what?
I'm trying to be on camera more. We'll see how that goes.
If you get uncomfortable, that's fine. Yeah, you don't need to stress yourself out or put yourself
I'm
in a
determined,
position.
goddammit.
I like your hair today. You're making me feel like a real scrub. Normally it's Matt.
Yeah. I actually washed and trimmed everything. I feel all pretty.
Traitor.
Don't worry, I'll be back in a week or two. Nah. So our final player for tonight, Cody, do you want to introduce yourself?
If I said no, would we be able to move on?
It didn't work for me. It can't work for you too. Come on.
Um,
We get stuck in a weird position where either we all just sit around in silence, or we just pretend you're not here.
well, in the meantime, my name is Kid the Dark Horse. I am a level 2 fighter, level 5 wizard, played by a man named Cody. And as it happens, I am going through a lot of teen angst because my master has lied to me repeatedly, and then the other master lied to me repeatedly, and now I am left to my own devices.
Oh,
Listen,
dear.
I told you the ropes were going to burn a little bit, okay? You chose to get tied up.
I mean, on the plus side, from your teenage angst and rebellion, you now have a kick-ass face tattoo.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't regret that in a couple of years.
Like, oh, yeah, you're just like every face tattoo, never regretted.
Yes, we are definitely going to have to talk to Gen 3 and see if he can't do something against scrying.
that might be needed. Okay, yes, everyone said names. Wonderful. So, before we jump back in, hey, do you like Welcome to the Party? Do you like tabletop role-playing games and various other related things? You should consider giving the money. You can do this in many, many different ways. You want to give us money, I will walk over the Atlantic Ocean with a little hat if you want to donate money, and I will even do a little dance. Only after I've walked over the ocean, so I won't do it right now. But if you want to donate money, and that's the one specific way in which you wish to do so, we will find a way to make it happen. Or, we'll find something more plausible. Like subscribing here on Twitch. When you subscribe, there are 3 tiers of subscription, which get you different cool little emotes. The first thing you get, and that's for any subscription, for every month you stay subscribed, you get to give a free critical hit or natural 20 or whatever the mode of instant success is in the various games to a player or game master of your choice. So
Please stop giving it to the game master. Please.
I've got so many, I keep forgetting to use them.
Well, you had to use one.
I did have to use one, Save Meat Sprinkles. I think I've still got like 3. I'm just sat on going, when will I murder them? And yeah, so there's that for any tier subscription. For tier 1, however, you get access to the WTTP D20. So
Which
you want
there's a
to
lot of in chat currently.
throw that dice everywhere. And there's a whole bunch of them in the Twitch chat right now for you to look at and go, ooh, ah, it's so cool, because it is. And just because my voice sounds sarcastic doesn't mean it is. I'm genuinely not being sarcastic. I've just got that tone for some reason today. For tier 2, you can get access to Michael the Mimic, who is... Yeah, Cody's doing a perfect representation of a mimic. They are just like Knuckles. Knuckles are the same as teeth, right? What if you made a mimic but didn't have teeth and it just had a fist?
Just whack!
You go to open the chest and you just get punched in the face.
It's a Jack in the Box.
Yes.
Oh my god, you could totally make a Jack-in-the-Box mimic. And you could name it Michael.
Yes.
I need
Like Michael the
paper.
Mimic.
Stop making me draw things.
For tier 2 subscription. And for tier 3, you get crits on the rocks. And I never ever have, mainly because I'm too lazy and I don't have the money to buy real alcohol anymore. But if I did, I would at this moment be taking a sip of an alcoholic beverage and pretending that it has the cool little D20s and like the crits on the rocks thing doing it. And if I was to go even further, I'd even do that meme pose, which is probably a dead meme nowadays. But, the most interesting man in the world... Not that meme pose! The most interesting man in the world. I don't always have crits, but when I do, they're on the rock.
Not really a pose, but close enough, I guess.
Don't ruin my dreams!
I'm ruining your dreams.
It's fine, they were dead anyway. And with all of that said and done, let's jump into the game. Previously, we learned about Notad. Apparently, Notad Rhaegon has been lying. He is not a dragon. He was a dragon, / is, but not currently because of magic. So we learned that. There is also apparently some... Well, I can't think of a better word for them. Let's call them a cult, who call themselves the Society, or more specifically, the Society of Dragons.
And who are apparently really freaky.
Yeah, they're a bit creepy. They seem... The one you met, she seemed to have some level of control or ownership or something over a small band of orcs.
I know there's magic involved, but I don't know what kind.
Yeah, there's some kind of force going on in there. Those orcs aren't doing it for fun. Or maybe they are. Maybe they've got very, very specific kinks. Maybe they're super submissive orcs and they're really into the master-slave sexual dynamic.
Oh boy.
I don't remember that being part of the tribe, but okay.
Please go on. I'm listening. Don't stop there.
Well, I know. I'm saying you guys don't know. You didn't ask enough questions. This is not carte blanche to walk up to every NPC and go, "How do you feel about the master-slave dynamic sexually?" Because that's going to lead to some very awkward conversations.
I thought we were doing that already.
Great.
No, we weren't doing that just yet.
To start doing
Awkward
that,
conversations with Matt are awesome.
They are. And the final thing which happened with your interaction with this rather scary / kind of sexy? Scary sexy? I can't put onto those words and I don't know how much I...
a bitch. That's what it was.
That works.
Hey, there's a market for that, let's be real.
Becca just dropping the
Call what I
fucking
see
mic.
it.
It's true.
Yeah, so...
Not an inaccurate statement.
It is not. But she left Kid with a lovely little mark in the form of a white dragon's footprint, claw mark. Like, I don't really know what to call it, per se, but just this this white dragon claw mark on his face, which caused his skin to crack and act almost as if it was being frozen in a certain manner. Like, it's not like, ooh, but, you know, basically deep freezing something. Essentially liquid nitrogen being poured over something. So very...
Ow.
It didn't
Without
hurt
you
you.
first.
Well, it hurt you, but probably not loads. And Kid's like, cool, now gone on my face. Nice. So, with all of that said, the second caravan, which had all the other people, will have caught up to the first one. You had pulled up near to, well, not near to, pretty much right on the banks of a river. The sun is kind of reaching its setting point now. You guys can choose to set up camp. You can go, screw it, we're going to march through the night and see what happens. But you do have a river to get past, so.
Rivers are bad. Let's wait till daylight.
Yeah, I'm
That's
good.
camp.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, bath.
That's
It's
an
a cool
old river bath.
Do we know what's in this river? Like,
Not a
water?
clue.
I assume water, but there might be like things other than water. I've heard, you know, those fish things they sell in the market that they come from a place called water.
Yeah,
To be fair,
it's a
we
good point.
should be a little careful around water given our previous experiences with it.
I go and grab a fishing rod from the supplies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Start fishing.
Exactly, we have to make it angry. That worked last time.
What are you
We could
doing,
ask the
Keller?
river how it feels
Fishing.
about the.
Have you never gone fishing?
Is that how you get fish?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, I suppose you
Whoa.
could just go into it and grab them with your bare hands, but that seems a tad barbaric, doesn't it?
That would be a lot easier if you were like Zindrix and you could have bare hands.
Or you could just talk to the fish and convince them to jump up onto the shore. Hey, I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with just fishing.
I think Zendrix would give you a look like, what? No.
You could always ask the river how it feels about the master servant thing and see if it moves out of the way for us.
Might just leave all of the fish. Fish might have some opinions that it might not agree with.
So, Primrose, you walk up to the river, stand next to it, make eye contact with the flowing water. This river is actually flowing quite quickly. It's not like serious rapids or anything, but it's a fairly fast-moving river.
Mm-hmm.
And you look it straight on, and what do you ask it?
I'm just gonna look at it. It's a beautiful river. I'm very, very, yeah. Great river.
Okay, when you aren't inquiring about its sexual preferences.
No, I'm
Specifically
making a
to-
joke. God damn it.
Hey, we take jokes seriously here. You
Only
say something
Matt.
stupid, we're
Only
gonna
you,
do it.
Matt.
I can
Ugh.
dare Flick to do it. How about that?
Okay, so Keldor, you're fishing.
Mhm.
Flick, you're mystified by this. Kid, you're being an angsty emo edgelord. How would you like to go about setting up camp? Yeah. You guys don't have to do anything. You can go, hey, various NPCs, do stuff for us, and they'll set it up. If you want to walk off and do whatever you want to do, that's fine. Or now it's your time for
Matt, we just got
character
done talking about the
interaction.
slave dynamic. We aren't going to have the NPCs do stuff that we could do ourselves.
Primrose will help set up camp because they're responsible adults.
Really?
Keldor's attempting to catch fish for supper.
Okay.
Am I not a responsible adult? I would need to hear about this now before I forget.
Would that be a
I was just
survival
questioning in
check?
general. Like, is anyone in this party really responsible?
I'm trying really
When
hard.
was the last time we left something like to its own devices?
What?
This is true.
The only thing that we've ever inflicted upon the world was the winter wolves.
And meat sprinkles.
Well, no, Meat Sprinkles did that to himself. Let's be real.
You have exposed him to the world, and subsequently the world to him.
Yeah.
This is a true statement.
Wait,
And
he
the world
exposed
is-
himself to the world?
I'm sure he
Probably
has
at
at
some
some point.
I mean,
I'm gonna have to talk with
thankfully,
him
you guys
about-
haven't, like... There hasn't been another bathhouse scene, but if there was, Meat Sprinkles would... He'd take
Oh.
it too far.
We have to
Okay.
drown him then.
We might have
Don't kill
to.
my child.
Oh, I will drown him so hard.
You may have to drown him.
He may get drowned. That might be how Flick gets rid of him. Just like trips him under the water and
I
like
think I might just kill him
accidentally holds his head down.
When Meat Sprinkles does die, you're all going to be really upset about it.
We will.
Am I?
However, we'll also
Okay.
probably see it coming.
I'll try.
All right.
I know I will.
Is it a survival check to see what I catch?
Yes. I know 3.5, there's like a million different things. You know, there's like professions and craft and stuff like that. But me personally, I see them as like, unless you're doing very specific character builds and there's very specific things you want to do, I find you can basically ignore them. That's a me rule. It's not an official rule. So survival works just as good in my book.
Alright.
10.
Yes. Not
Okay,
terrible.
yeah. You've got your rod. It's kind of really just a stick with a line and a hook. You don't catch anything spectacular, but you catch, you know, you know what? Roll me a d6.
Do-do-do.
You catch 5 medium fish, so essentially enough to feed 5 people.
Enough to supplement our supplies for tonight.
Yeah.
Get some
If
fresh
you don't-
food in there.
Yeah, so basically, if you don't want to eat trail rations or whatever Gen3's cooking, you've got fish as an option as well. So, hey.
I think we're around 65. Nope, 60.
Okay.
We still have like 100 jerky, but actual
Yeah.
meal supplies, we have enough for like another 60.
Yeah, but we're not weird kobolds. We should be able to eat other things than jerky.
But I was just saying, we also have 100 jerky.
Yeah,
Is
you
that
got both. Gen3 is a very prepared man. Like, he likes to cook good food. Like, jerky's fine as like a travel snack, but it's not a meal.
And also Keldor, having grown up being trained to work in the army, knows a little bit about logistics.
Yeah. Basically, you don't want to get scurvy.
Pretty much. Plus whatever other things you can, having great kinds of food. There's a lot of them.
Exactly. Yeah, there's way too many things. In fact, I'm nowhere near educated enough on what a badly balanced diet can afflict a person with. So it's why I just go for easy scurvy referencing.
Scurvy's a good one.
So, Keldor, you've done that.
Oh, I have a fish net. I'm actually going to set that up to sit overnight. Just catching fish going down the river.
Yeah, cool.
Glad I had that.
I will do some rolls for that when you guys actually rest up. Flick, what are you doing during this downtime camp scenario?
DJ?
Uh-oh.
There?
Lost him.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
There you go.
Okay. All right. I think what it is the mic button is like right under here on this thing, and I think I keep hitting it with my shoulder, so I keep turning myself off. I was wondering why people kept talking over me. I'm checking my output volume and everything. Okay, so I have been. I'll replay the whole thing that I've been saying this entire time. So you heard me say that I went over and was like plunked down next to Keldor while he's fishing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that entire time I was asking, should I roll to assist or roll to hinder? Because I'm just like, so why is there, where do you get the line? Why is it attached at the end? How do you get the hook? What's it made out of? Like, how'd you sharpen it? Like, why do they bite it? Why are they so stupid? Why wouldn't they just see this thing and go around it? Like, I know not to bite a friggin' hook. Like, wouldn't that hurt? Like, so I'm just constantly badgering you with questions.
I would say that's not really hindrance, because Keldor has 2 younger sisters.
He's probably
He'd
used
be
to it.
very used to it.
Yeah. Oh, it's like I'm home again. Oh.
Oh, this is great. I'm enjoying this. Just like, oh,
You
this
know,
is how it works, and they don't actually bite the hook, they bite the bait, and the bait hides the hook, and such and so forth.
Okay.
And you could probably even explain it to Flick in ways of, in terms he would understand. See, what we do is, like, like when the city guards do a sting operation and they purposefully leave out some gold and to
Keldor
trap
doesn't
the
know
thief.
crap about that kind of stuff.
That's what Flick's brain is putting it into, is terms he can understand.
Yeah, so
Oh,
you go,
it's like a bait car. Okay.
We have cars now. Good to know.
Yeah.
Why didn't we grab one of those?
slang for a wagon.
Because it existed for exactly the amount of time for Flick to make that one reference, and then all cars like simultaneously vanish from existence.
Curse you, Zorgothrax.
If he was that powerful to eradicate something from existence, that'd be pretty fucking.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just spend most of my time bugging him about that and learning what I can about fishing, and then after that, I'm probably going to go off and practice my long throws again.
Do you want to try fishing yourself? Like, would you ask Keldor? Can I have a go?
He doesn't think about it at all because he's the way Flick has been dealing with this. He hasn't been engaging with any of the setting up the camp or anything at all because he's never done that before. He is very much, oh, well, I have my backpack and I set up my hammock and then I sleep, right? Just you guys set up your stuff and you sleep, and that's how it works. It's just you guys have way too much shit. So that's how he's been doing this entire thing. So he's observing all of this like a kid in a museum that's been like starved of like a certain type of knowledge his entire life. And if Keldor makes the suggestion, he'll just like look up like starstruck, like, oh, right, I can do it too.
Keldor would totally just hand a pole to him without even asking. Like, here, take it.
It's a damn good thing you're not sitting next to Kid doing this, because I can tell you describe what Kid's doing right now. At the end of the Gorellan's Blessing spell, the arms that are grown fall off. Kid has nailed a harpoon to them and is using a little rope at the end of the harpoon, and he's using them as bait. Catch something big.
So this is like that scene in Waterworld when he's like, nah, you're not gonna catch anything with that little fishing rod, and jumps off the boat and is the bait himself.
Well,
he's going for a bigger fish.
I mean, it's an arm that fell off, so in this case, he is using something rather tantalizing rather than the weak shit that Keldor's doing.
Is it still cannibalism if my own arm falls off and it's actually a gorilla's arm, but I eat it anyway?
And it was created by magic, so.
Yeah. The
must be
questions
tasty.
D&D poses.
Kid, while you're doing that, Unst will come and join you. Like, he'll look at Keldor and Flick and go, they fish like silly little-minded people. We have great world-sized brain. Now give me other arm.
Kid gives
And
him
he,
his
like,
other arm.
rams a harpoon through it and just dangles it in the water.
Start seeing fish nibbling at it without actually biting anything.
So, Flick, when you get handed the rod, do you want to try and make a survival check, see if you can reel anything in? Have you hit mute again?
Yes, he has. He has hit mute again.
God damn it. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. Let's roll a survival check for Flick. That sounds hilarious. 19? Wow.
Yeah, Flick. Almost immediately, as you're sat there fishing, you cast the line. Keldor, are you helping him cast the line? You like showing him how to flick the rod, or are you going, here you go?
I'm basically just going, here you go, and watching him, and then being like, and every once in a while being like, just do it a little bit more this way, kind of thing. Letting him learn on his own, but giving him advice.
So,
Flick's
Flick.
probably smarter than me, and so I know he'll get it.
Flick, almost immediately, once the hook hits the water, you feel a great big tug on the line.
Perfect.
Make a
Check.
strength roll.
And just to paint the scene here, Flick is totally standing and almost like leaning over the water a little bit to like look in because he's more excited about like seeing it and doesn't realize because Keldor is gigantic and probably made it look effortless.
Yeah.
And that's a 4.
Archer, I'm assuming that reflex check is to grab Flick by the scruff of his neck.
Grab Flick and the rod and pull them back onto shore.
So, Flick, with your strength check of 4, what you feel is you feel yourself being pulled into the river, like by the rod. You have a choice. You can either try and pull back, or you can let go of the rod.
I try and pull back immediately.
Just like
And what you then find is you find Keldor grabbing hold of you, like, grabbing the rod and kind of assisting. Keldor, can you make a strength check for me?
alrighty.
This should be a little more impressive. There we go.
18, yeah. Keldor, you like just hurl the rod up, and this sizable fish, it's pretty flippin' big, to say the least. Nowhere near as big as Satan fish, or
not.
one of the catfishes, sea cats you came across, but it's a good, 20-pound fish which gets pulled up out of the water. As you
Like half
start
my weight.
pulling in that line, bring it in, you slap it down. Like, you look at this fish and go, hey, that's like at least 5, if not more, meals worth.
Wow!
Nice.
I think it's almost as big as I am.
I hold it up to him. Yeah, pretty much.
Is it always that easy?
Sometimes, but if people fish in one area too often, then it tends to get harder. Because then the
That
fish
makes
start to
sense.
get smart and not bite the bait.
Ah. Even fish can learn.
Not very fast, but they do learn.
Hmm.
Otherwise, the stupid ones just... I'm not sure which.
Well, I think I'm good. And I hug the fish and start waddling towards the fire.
Speaking of the stupid ones, how are we doing?
Okay. Kid and Unst, that's his survival role.
There's just harpoons stuck
With
through
Obviously,
arms.
you've
in
got
the
these
water.
arms, a harpoon, and you can see fish going up. They swim up, take a nibble, swim away, and Unst is just sat there waiting, going, "It's about patience. You need to wait until they bite too close to the hook, and then you yank."
That's
It
all
will
right.
pay
I'm
off
going to wait on the
eventually.
big one. I'll wait on the big one. They just need to get the taste of flesh.
The longer you keep at this, because I'm assuming since these are arms, they have blood in them.
At one point, yes.
After a few nibbles from smaller fish start to happen, a small trickle of blood comes out, and that starts to attract slightly larger looking fish. And all the small fish just swim away as fast as they can.
River shark.
Not that big. They're still smallish, just a little bit long. However, they are moving in a pack, and they seem, when they come up to the area of the arms, they swarm around it and very, very aggressively start to attack the arms, almost ripping them apart. Would you like to try and pull in? Any of
No,
these
because this is
fish?
precisely what I was waiting for. Because as they're all around the arms, kid's gonna cast lightning bolt.
Okay.
Nice.
Dynamite, some lightning bolt.
Okay, they are unaware, so they are denied their save.
Peter's gonna protest this episode now.
I have thoughts and feelings on Peter. I'm gonna be quiet. for 12 damage. Now, I need to decide if I'm treating these as a swarm or as a bunch of individual fish.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh,
You know what? Just for the dramatic effect, these are going to be treated as a bunch of individual fish, not a swarm. If you had jumped in the river and started fighting them, they would have been a swarm. At that moment, all of these fish go bloop and float up to the surface.
So I'm pretty
There
sure
is a-
I'll look over at the giant crack and see this happen.
Yeah. You could see that.
Okay.
Okay. I suppose that all of them would float down to Keldor's net then, huh?
Which I was currently in the process of setting up.
Yeah, so that should be super easy for you.
It's like,
Kid's gonna walk away and says, "All right, got dinner."
When you take a look at these fish that Kid has so carefully produced,
To be fair, that was a really low charge lightning bolt for how bad it could have been.
yeah, it was
1, 1, 1. 3 ones in there.
Mm-hmm.
yikes. But just looking at these fish, but they're quite small, and they don't really appear to have loads of areas of meat. They look very bony, and you notice they have quite large protruding teeth. If anyone wants to try and figure out what these are, that would be a knowledge of nature. Yeah, Keldor,
Probably got it.
you've heard of these. These are piranhas.
What the heck are piranhas doing in a river this far north?
I'm assuming
Fancy.
whatever they want.
Fancy, dude.
No, Keldor's asking this. Keldor's like, the hell? Why? He's like, guys, going in river's off limits.
So should Vaco get out of the river then?
Yeah.
Vaco sighs and starts wading out of the river.
Hey, so long as you don't obviously cut yourself on anything, they'll probably not bother you.
I'm pretty sure we all have cuts on us.
That's very true.
Vaco
Well, the
doesn't.
good news is, at least the arms are attracting them currently. Although, admittedly, probably not anymore.
Well, Oon still has his arm in.
Maybe.
Unst is just watching the little fish swarm around the arm and he's laughing. Look at them! They think it's real food! Silly fishes. They're acting like they have, like, real teeth. Fishes don't use teeth.
As he doesn't have an arm in about a minute.
Look, I'll show you.
Pulls it out, nothing but bones left.
Yeah, when he pulls it out, there's, like, nothing on it. It's like... Kid, you need to explain how this magic spell works. Like, does the arm just disappear? Because
Not that fast.
fishes should not... Fishes don't have teeth, right?
Have you
Fishes
ever
can't
seen
eat,
a
like,
pike?
real meat. Have they seen a pike? You mean like long sharp thing people use to stab each other?
Yeah, they've
That
seen
was
them in
named
river
after a
torches.
fish that tears you apart.
Who names a weapon after a fish?
A very
Well, what
scary
is sword
fish.
named after?
Swordfish.
There is fish which is sword.
Yeah, it's got a really long pointy nose, and apparently it's really sharp.
I want one. I want to kill people with a sword fish.
Zendrix, can you turn into one of those?
Bet he could.
Zendrix just kind of looks at you and sighs, like,
It would have been real useful last week. That's all I'm saying.
Keldor's totally
I don't know.
BSing all of this.
Whatever on these
Too.
piranhas or whatever the hell you call them, I want their eyeballs.
What?
Just the eyeballs. They don't look like they have anything else on them.
Well, we can boil them. It'll make a nice fish stock.
Oh, okay. I do want to eat the eyeballs, though. I've heard that's the good part.
Meat Sprinkles looks and goes,
Okay.
is always the best part.
Thought that was the
Maybe
toes.
Sprinkles agrees.
Goblins have been arguing for literally generations about party.
They're called Kuatoa. What else would you take from them? Clearly, their best part's in their name.
What's a kua?
What's a Toa?
I don't even know. All I
Pretty
know.
sure it's
Oh,
a
it's you.
giant, like, magical
that's a
mech
crocodile's
thing.
vagina. Is that it? No?
Mm. God, we're dying.
Flick's just casually skinning his fish, scaling his fish, whatever you do with a fish.
Descaling.
Going in.
Yeah.
And Keldor will show him how to do that properly.
Yeah, I'm
Is there a
assuming
lot
you
of-
haven't just Flick. You're not just there like stabbing it with a little knife, going, "Come on, where's my
Flick
fish?"
has actually had a bit of experience cleaning small mammals and small birds before, but never fish.
So he just shows him that you don't actually have to take the skin off, just the scales.
Ah. What do you do with the head?
You
And
grind it.
usually what we do is we boil it with vegetables and other stuff. Makes a pretty decent chowder.
Or I could make a friend, and I go over to the wolf and I chuck him the fish head.
You
Or might be.
Sif!
okay? So you're giving Sif some of it. Yeah, Sif will
I was like,
sniff it.
wolf? What
Yeah.
wolf? I'm really confused.
Hendrix's wolf, yeah.
I'm like,
There's been a
wait,
wolf here
we
this
do have a
entire
wolf!
time.
He just doesn't do much.
I was
Like,
gonna talk
ever.
to Hendrix's game, but Blake isn't here, so I guess I'll make friends with Zip.
Yeah, Sif's happy with it. It's me.
Is it Sif or Zip? I thought it was Zed.
Sif.
With
S-I-F.
an S.
It's
Like,
actually in the player
Yeah, I know
handout.
it's written down somewhere. I just can't remember where.
You can look at the player handouts. He's in the animal companions.
Ah, right.
there.
Yep, right there. SIF. I'm
yeah,
done.
I think Blake named it after the boss in Bloodborne, which is
Dark
also
Souls.
the.
That is an awesome. Okay, that just wins it. We gotta make the wolf more badass.
We need to give it a weapon that it can use with its mouth.
A giant sword that could cut any of us in half.
Like
Yes.
a
I
wolf.
Get
Don't
on
turn
it.
it into a bear hound, Matt.
Technically, you can armor up an animal companion.
Yeah, you
I
can.
think there are actually feats for allow like. I don't know how. I'd have to look it up, but I do know someone I played with did once find a way to justify their animal companion wielding a great sword.
You can probably do it like a trick.
There is a way, and hey, if you can justify it, I'm 100% down for it. I want to see it.
I'd recommend a two-bladed sword.
Oh God.
That'd be the easiest.
It carries it around like a squeaky toy.
Put the squeaky toy as the handle.
Yeah. And you're just like,
Stabs into someone who's like, ah!
okay, so we've had team fishing. During all of this, Varka, you said you were in the water, but then you came out once you learned that there was deadly fish inside of there.
Yeah, I don't want my bits getting eaten.
No, bits are good to not have eaten.
Cure wounds only does so much.
You need like a greater restoration or like fire.
Generate.
Yeah, that.
So,
Oh yes, and if
Promote.
an animal companion has 3 intelligence or higher, they can take any feat, which includes martial weapon proficiency.
Well, as an
That's
animal, they
it.
wouldn't be able to do that.
Doesn't say that they can't.
Animals stop at intelligence 2. They're considered magical beasts if they go beyond that.
Well, animal
Well, then that's
companions
not the case.
usually have higher intelligence than typical.
Yeah,
That's
you-
just familiars.
you can augment regular animal companions with, depending on how you train them, you can justify a whole bunch of nonsense, really, if you're clever.
Yeah.
So, and I'm down for it because
There's
I
some
like
really obscure
nonsense.
source book that has like animal-based weapons.
Of
I would love.
course
to see that.
there is. I want to see it.
Hey, Keldor.
It's 3.5. There's a source
Yes.
book for everything.
What you're thinking of is all the other stats, except for can be considered a optional animal of their race, but intelligence cap for animal as a type is 2. Anything beyond intelligence 2, they become a beast or an intelligent creature. That's what awakening does, is it raises you from the realm of 1 or 2 intelligence, which is vermin and animals, into the realm of actual thinking beings, which is intelligence 3 and up, which is why the dumbest barbarian you'll ever find is like a 3 or 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is barely above animal intelligence. So
I think it's why, when you roll for stats, you physically can't have lower than 3.
Yeah.
Because, you'd just be...
Yeah, it's strength and dexterity adjustments.
Yeah, it's all those physical ones. They say, yeah, totally justified, and you, you know the land. You went out, you didn't just take the shitty little runt of the litter. You went out and found King Koopa of the wolves or whatever, and made him your bitch. Or your friend. Depending on which kind of druid you are.
Bitch, friend. They're all the same, really, aren't they?
Right?
These words are interchangeable, right, bitches?
If you watch the Joe Rogan podcast, they pretty much are.
Okay. So, during team fishing trip, Primrose, you were helping set up the camp, weren't you?
Yeah. First of all, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Alright, cool. My internet's on shit again, so I'm just on data now. It's great.
Oh, great.
Well, first of all, this whole Primrose has done a lot of things in the past. How many hours trip's been?
Yeah.
So she's done a lot of thinking?
Yeah, they did a lot of thinking, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Seeing kid almost die twice in the span of 48 hours, it made them think about a bit of thing regarding them and Eliza, to be honest. So Prima's helped set up camp, but it's not like they're not directly always around Eliza now. So.
Okay. So you're not actively going, oh, I'm gonna help Eliza with this. You're not avoiding her per se, but you are choosing to not actively socially engage with specifically Eliza.
Yeah, expanding.
Yeah, that makes 100% sense to me. Eliza doesn't really she doesn't seem to take huge offense to it. But if at any moment, she tries to go up to Primrose and tries to get their attention, and you kind of only stick around for a little bit, and then you can see that Eliza's maybe a little bit like, have I done something wrong? She kind of gets this look, and she understands, okay, Primrose is going through a thing. I'll give space. I'll not push myself upon them. That's a bit... But she looks a little deflated by the time that the entire camp is all set up. You've got tents and you've got a little fire set up and all of that. Eliza looks a little deflated, kind of separates herself off a little bit.
What would would we need to roll anything to determine if Primrose notices that or not? Because I would think that they would, but
you don't need to
Yeah.
roll. You can.
Seems like something you'd be paying attention to right now, right?
Yeah.
It's something that it's something Primrose isn't paying attention to, and they know they're doing it.
Yeah.
But Primrose is also thinking about certain things as well regarding Eliza. So.
I mean, yes, I could arbitrarily make you roll a number for it to see if Primrose notices, or it's entirely up to you. Like, if you think Primrose would be aware of that and want to make that a priority, or is more focused on what they're thinking and feeling, that's 100% up to you. I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't do.
I think considering how much time they spent together, Primrose.
A month or so.
Did I go out? Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of because you stayed a week in Finesse, you went to Scarfell, you had, that took you like 3 days to get there, you rested there for a day, you went up the mountain, that took you, about 3 days, give or take. You got back, you rested in Scarfell for about you rested there for about 2 weeks, and it took you 2 days. So that's 1 week, 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
About 4 weeks.
Like a month.
Pushing 5. Like, yeah, so just over a month.
And then she became a robot.
Yeah, sorry, could you repeat that? I think your connection went a little bit iffy. Yeah, I only got half of it.
Yeah, I'm on data, so.
That's totally fine.
You can get to know someone. If you get to know someone pretty well, I think it'll be introduction.
Yeah, especially when you consider the fact that you are literally surrounded by these people. I mean, the easiest thing I can give, for example, anybody who's ever gone and done a residential course on anything, like for work or when you were in school or whatever, when you go and live and work and do everything, you get to know people within like the space of a week, maybe 2 weeks, a whole month of that, and you know people really well, and you're usually very intimately close, like not just like on a romantic level or anything, like on whatever level. This is why, okay, just using my own personal experiences, like in the performing world, when you get on job contracts with people, you normally get arranged digs, so you live with these people, you work with these people, you have your social time with these people. It's what causes people to form relationships very quickly, and then when they move off, they inevitably break up and everything goes awful and awry, because they are then forced into a new close working relationship with a whole new group of people. It's why performers, in my experience, are terrible for maintaining friendships, because they make a really close friendship, then they go off and they make a whole new set of close friendships, and they go off and make a whole new set. So you would 100% feel like you would know Eliza very, very well. You had no time apart from her in this entire 5 weeks.
That being said, Primrose would want to talk to them later.
Yeah, that's fine.
Tonight, maybe now.
Do you feel the need to tell Eliza that, or is that a mental? That's a Primrose thought. I will talk to her later. For now, I'm having Primrose time.
I'm assuming Eliza isn't like dramatic and run off. Assuming it's a Primrose thought.
No, she doesn't seem mad. As I said, she's just a little deflated, but it was a long journey here. She watched Kid have like a little mental breakdown in the cart. She's seen all the same, she's probably just tired, and she hasn't really had loads of time interacting with loads of people. So it's like, oh, the one person I mainly interact with is doing their thing, and that's cool. They do that. I'm a little out of sorts here. So
Prim will think to talk to them later.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. For the meanwhile, what is Prim doing, thinking, feeling
what needs to be done in a camp tense
we're
I guess.
we're assuming all of that stuff has been done and that you helped out with all of that because you said you wanted to. Meaning, like after all of that's done and all the fishing people have come back with fish, and it's now what are you doing at this time period, like after camp set up and when everyone returns with fish?
Okay. Have we established who actually preps for me? Possibly Eliza? I don't actually know.
Have we established what? Sorry.
I mean, let me switch to my internet. Okay. That was Chairman.
Yes.
Oh boy.
That's usually prepares food. Is it Ginthry?
Gen3 is the one who usually prepares food. Yes. So, if you're just wanting a rundown of like what the NPCs, like what they take on as their regular roles, obviously Unster's gone off and he was fishing, and apparently Meat Sprinkles was there as well. Gen 3 usually takes to preparing food. Mateus takes to sorting out the horses. Notad just kind of sits there and kind of looks around, and goes,
Oops.
You're doing stuff. And Angus likes to be very hands-on in setting up things. You go, all right, so we'll put the fire here, and we'll set tents up exactly at 5 pieces away from each other. So he's very methodical and military, and like the setting up. So he's in a supervisory role.
While Angus is saying like exactly 5 paces, Keldor uses Flick's paces and his paces to set them apart.
Dick.
Keldor's like, Keldor's taking really long paces, and they're like, okay, here, Flick, you get the next one.
Yeah. And Angus will look at you when you're doing that, and he just goes like, "You think you're really clever, don't you?"
Huh? What are you talking about?
But I'll agree, it's actually pretty funny. Crack on. It's not actually that important. I was just having a wee moment, I guess.
I don't know who to pair a prim with. I don't know what to do. Crap.
As a bard, you could be inspiring competence.
Hey, you
In
can
this
be
group,
standing
that
there,
might
like,
not be such a bad idea.
going, everybody do better.
I'm helping.
That shit right
Oh
now.
god, I totally forgot that Duratara's even here as well. I think Duratara just be like sat on one of the wagons, just. Yeah. I can't really picture it in my mind. Cause like I don't think she'd smoke, but it's like I think she'd be doing something. Maybe like using a toothpick, just like not really paying attention. Laid back, chilling, kind of looking at everyone, going. Psh. If you're struggling to decide, ooh, what NPC do I want to interact with? Roll a dice to decide if you fancy it, or if you're feeling like there's not really any NPC you really want to interact with right this moment. You don't have to. It's totally optional.
Can Kid be helping out with food prep?
What?
Kid, you were saying you just wanted to help out make food?
Yeah, although I did want to kind of yell at Duraterra and say, Lake Towners should probably come and help out with fish. You probably know this.
Durataro will kind of like just turn her head and glance down at you. You go, now, y'all think that I wasn't
do
much
think
of a fisher. I was that was more like my dad, my daddy, and literally everybody except me. I kind of push people into the water for my own personal amusement. It was real funny watching them struggle until they all died.
Oh. That got dark really fast.
Yeah, it's called Laugh.
On that note, Prim is going to, it's been a while. So they're gonna start playing near the fire. That's Houston, we didn't hear.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an issue on my end or if anyone else. Like, I'm just really struggling to hear a lot of what you're saying, Rebecca.
Yeah, same here.
Very robot. For some reason.
Try restarting Discord. Maybe it'll help.
How about now?
Ooh, that came through good.
How about now?
That's
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, you said you started to play your instrument? Maybe she didn't hear us say
She's
we
going
could
again.
hear her.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Well,
Whoops, you gotta
She
roll.
restart.
Primrose is going to sit near the fire and play the. Yep, that's cool.
Shikamachi.
Well, when we take a break in a few minutes, we'll use that opportunity for you to. We'll try and figure out what's going on with your voice thing, and then we'll be able to dive back into Primrose's mind, and you can tell us what they are thinking and feeling, and all of that good stuff. So you will get a chance to vocalize it and all of that. So don't fret too much for now. We'll take the time to figure out what's going on there. Kid, you wanted to help out with cooking.
Yes, I caught most of the fish, so
You did.
really?
Again,
I would like.
Bony.
Yeah, that's why we gotta cook all the meat off of them.
Yeah, a lot of bone of fish.
Aren't they already cooked?
Slightly.
They're charred.
Yeah, but they aren't like evenly charged. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take some sticks, and I'm gonna like just push it through, and I'm gonna set them up kind of next to the fire so they can roast a little bit.
Yeah. Genfrey's there. Yeah, he's got his cauldron off to one side. He goes, I don't know if people would prefer like a stew or if you want to fry things. I've got a frying pan. Well,
Put the spiky fish in the stew. We'll fry the rest.
oh, he's gonna point to the skewered fish that Kid's already done. Like, Kid, do you want to have some of your spiky ones fried, or would you prefer them stewed?
Yeah, I just really want to chew on something right now.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll give him the fish so he can fry them.
You know what? I've got a great idea. What I'll do is Gen3. He then makes a second smaller fire, and he sets the cauldron up on one to stew and leaves the other one open to fry. It's like, we can do both. Magic. Well, that wasn't magic. That was just, you know.
Intelligence? Same thing.
Yeah, common sense.
I mean, I suppose it doesn't really matter what it ends up tasting like. I mean, we're wizards. We can make it taste like whatever we want, right?
True.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's actually one of the easiest things we can actually cast.
Watch this. He Gen3 pours like a small cup of water and hands it to Keldor, and then he rolls up his sleeves and "Ugh. Have a drink.
What's it taste like?
It tastes like a really velvety smooth fine wine.
Why did you never do this back at the castle?
Because we actually had good food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like here, I'll even show you. I'll take one of the completed fish, and I'll say, "All right, now try this." I say after prestidigitationing it.
Hey. Taste it.
It tastes like the way you smell when you're wet.
I mean,
Whack! Back of the
you whack
head.
him with the fish.
What is
No, I just whack him with my hand.
it?
Okay.
The fish would have counted as a piercing weapon.
It would have. So, yeah. So Gampy goes, "Oh, did he make it taste bad?" Oh, I was going to say back at wizard school, but it wasn't really a school as it was a guy's back room, hiding, hoping no one would come and kill us.
I can sympathize.
But yeah, it was always fun. You know, everyone would prestigitation like a bowl of nuts, and so everyone would have their own separate. We'd pass it around, and you'd who's gonna get a bad one? I'll.
I'm going to use prestidigitation while it's still active, because it stays active for an hour.
Oh yeah.
To make little crude models of people and just start tossing at them. Like, it kind of looks a little bit like a caricature, like what you'd get someplace, like one of those oddly not flattering at all type of things.
Yeah, like over exaggerated features, big heads, and
They look like Funko Pops.
yeah, let's call them that.
And he just throws Funko Pops at people. He doesn't really care if they catch them.
I mean, do these take solid form, or are they just kind of like they throw kind of like?
It says in the spell. Let me find it real quickly. You can create small objects, but they look crude and artificial. They are extremely fragile and cannot be used as tools, weapons, or special components or spell components.
So as you throw them at people, they basically just shatter if they don't catch
They
them.
don't catch them.
What are you making these things look like? Like, or your friends, or just random people,
Kind of
or
take a look at them and then basically throw a Funko Pop version of them at them.
I love it, everyone. If you decide to catch, you can keep a Funko Pop version of yourself as created by Kid.
Now I want one.
I would love
Like-
Should have caught it.
Just a Funko Pop of Keldor? That would be amazing.
Basically a porcelain one. It looks really crudely done. Like, honestly, it looks like someone maybe drew it. Like a little kindergartner drew it and then proceeded to do it. So, like, they aren't the best Funko Pops in the world. They look vaguely like you.
What
Good
the hell is
enough.
a Funko Pop?
Oh, you
Never
live in a
seen
blessed
one?
world, don't you?
I live in Canada. What the hell is a Funko Pop?
They're little vinyl figurines with huge heads, usually of pop culture related things, and I think Archer's run off to go grab one.
They're sold in Barnes and Noble here.
They're sold everywhere.
Something along the lines of this.
Okay.
Or
Except for
I might
usually
have them
bigger
up here
headed.
and I just don't know. That's totally something I could be unaware of.
you can
Think
get,
of a
like,
bobblehead
they also
doll.
have bargain brand ones.
I mean, I'm no less
Kindred!
nerdy. Like,
Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
awesome.
there's
I have
triple
no idea
dragon.
what that just was showing because I'm culturally unaware.
It's a League of Legends thing.
Okay,
Mm,
It's so cool. I
that's
want
the thing.
one.
No idea.
I hate the game, but I love that character.
I like the game.
I think we can hear you better now, Prim.
Yes,
I'm moving
Rebecca, we
downstairs
can,
close to my router.
Yay!
Yeah, that sounds much clearer.
can hear
Like
you.
right next to it right now.
Yay!
Yay!
Fucking bitch.
You tell it.
I have a sound of just rubbing up against it going, work now! But it is.
Close to it.
So, now we can hear your lovely, lovely voice again.
And now I have to turn you back down. Jeez.
Would you like to tell us, because you said that Primrose is playing their instrument and just being chilled out, very introspective, I'm guessing, very much in of themselves. Would you like to tell us what Primrose is thinking? Because if there's no one you wish to actively interact with, that's fine. You can have a totally, I'm having a thought me moment. But can you tell us, the active audience, what is going on inside Primrose's brain space?
Well, first I want to ask you and I want to ask all of you what you think they're thinking about, because this is interesting.
What does the song sound like? Because I mean, honestly, the shakuhachi is a fairly depressing sounding instrument, but like, can we notice that it's more depressing than normal?
Yeah, I mean, it's can music sound quizzical? I don't know. It's something like that. It's just mellowed out tones, not really in a certain pattern, just like in a slim slam of a melody.
Okay, so you're not playing like an actual tune as such. It's more noodling.
They're more doing it to just like think easier, like as like something like when you fidget to think better, something like that.
Yeah, I get that, and even
Yeah.
more so with music. You know, I kind of get it. So it's kind of like, okay, so you may be hitting a few notes. You're not really playing a specific tune. It's like ambient. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going on, what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll hit a
sure.
few notes in a way that you like, and maybe you go, "Ooh, like that," but no, fun.
Yeah, more or less.
So, everyone else then, in this case, you can hear Primrose doing this, and Rebecca, you have actually said it's been a while since Primrose has just sat down and played, hasn't it?
Hmm.
So, what does everyone else think of Primrose playing at this moment?
Kid's gonna whistle along. Like he's gonna wait until he hears the melody kind of repeat a little bit, and then he's gonna start whistling it.
I was gonna say, how are you doing that? Weird
Are
person.
you psychic? Have you not told us you're a psionic?
Oh God!
Imagine.
It turns out kid's last name is not a scion.
Kid not a scion?
Actually, it would be Notas Ion.
Notas ion.
Potassium.
Or Natasian, yeah. Natasian also works.
That actually sounds like really... Okay, so we'll keep that in mind for the pirate.
Yeah, for future character name. If we meet an NPC named Natasian, don't trust him.
Yeah, honestly, we've learned one lesson from Notad, that if his name goes like that, we have to automatically assume.
One day I'm gonna make like the stupidest character, which has like the most obvious like ha 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 we get your, and then it's not gonna at all.
But now we
Yeah,
know.
There will be a version of Notad Rhaegon who is 100% actually not Haggard.
I made a character that was named Red Herring, and my players never caught on.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So if kid is whistling along, Primrose will actively try and dupe him a couple times. You know, like change the melody.
And is
Kid's
that
smart? He
for-
learns fast.
Are you doing that because it's funny, or because you're like, hey, stop joining in?
No, it's like they're trying to amuse themselves.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm just trying to understand. Like, I'm trying to imagine like the look on Primrose's face. It's like, it's not like a stop joining in on my thing. It's like a yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense in my mind.
Hold on.
But each time they get back off on it, they're just gonna like we just keep playing the same thing. Too
Does
old.
kid count as a masterwork instrument?
Huh?
Does kid count as a masterwork instrument?
I would say
Is
no.
his body trained?
Not in whistling, but
Then no.
okay. 16.
No, what I meant is I want to know what you guys think Primrose is thinking about, because I wonder how well you know Prim.
Kid obviously is joining in and trying. Are you trying to get into Primrose's mindset, or are you just enjoying it?
I'm trying to see what the melody makes me think of, so I can try and get this, because I know that I tend to fight better when I'm angry. So,
Does the music come across as angry, Primrose?
No, it comes across. I mean, Shakuhachi sounds melancholy in general, but this sounds kind of more so. A little more like longer, drawn out tones and not many high points. Just like imagine we're kind of matching it to the flow of the river, like that kind of long tones and stuff like that. That makes any sense.
So then, Keldor, Flick, and Valka, how are you responding to Primrose actually getting their instrument out and playing it? They haven't done this in a while.
Well, Keldor is listening, but he's also a little bit busy, so he's not paying too much.
Yeah, you're kind of treating it like, yes, this is background line, getting on doing other things.
He's slightly worried for Primrose, but not like, oh, she's having real issues. Just, something's going on there. Well,
yeah.
I'm not the best at
Valka,
dealing with that.
Valka, what about you?
Fako's just gonna like close his eyes and enjoy the sad music. Just gonna let everybody just feel what they feel.
When did Valka become such a fucking hippie?
Sometimes after like stressful encounters, it's nice just to sit down and reflect, feel what you want to feel.
It is.
I think Valka needs to have a pipe, and it smell a little bit off. While he sits back and goes, yeah. And I think Flick would very quickly be asking for a hit of that pipe. TJ, how's Flick reacting to the sad music?
You're muted again.
TJ, you're muted when I was making the jokes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
You assume Flick doesn't have his own pipe.
That'd be foolish of me to assume that you made a
That would be
character
foolish of you.
pipe.
So, Flick has, ever since Duratera made that comment about, like, this is life, Flick kind of just, like, he'd gotten to the point where he made a little, like, spit, and he was rotisserieing this gigantic fish over the fire. And he just kind of, like, slowed down doing that, and he's just kind of been, like, staring, like, he's looking sort of towards the fish, but anybody who's looking close can see he's just staring straight into the fire. And he just looks pretty disassociated and glum right about now. And then the music starts, and he just kind of, his shoulders just kind of sink a little bit more. And he's clearly off in his own little world right now.
Way to go, Primrose. Just depressed everyone.
We were already depressed. We just weren't acknowledging it.
Yeah.
Except
Well, I
Keldor,
do-
who's just getting on as normal.
We never said anyone who was
Keldor's-
depressed.
Not had any issues with that currently.
I like that Keldor's like the counterbalance. Keldor's not like over the top optimistic, but he's not had.
He's the
reason.
only one who hasn't had like the most tragic background that was possible.
Yeah,
You know
I
what?
like it.
What's Keldor doing right now? Forgot. I'm sorry.
He's doing this thing. If it works. Does it work? Yes. It worked.
It,
Ooh, what are you making?
At all what you said.
That thing. I'm
So-
trying to craft floats, like trying to figure out how to get floats for the coaches so we can get across the river without everyone dying.
Oh, hey, cat. Question.
Yes.
Sit down.
Would it not be easier to just modify the carts?
Well, that's kind of what he's thinking. He's basically making something where we can take the wheels off, stick these things on, float it across the river, put the wheels back on type of deal.
What are you gonna do about the horses? Just
That
let them
he hasn't
get their
thought about
legs and
yet.
ankles
We
gnawed
need a
out?
raft. We need a raft or a bridge.
We could always eat them.
No eating the horses.
Why? That would give us rations for days.
Yes, but then you'd have to pull the cart, because I'm not.
And carry the horses.
I have a question. How cold is it?
As soon as you start eating them, they stop carrying themselves. That's a little known fact about horses.
Cody, do you mean how cold is the air or how cold is the water?
Combination of the two, actually, because it's
The
both
water
cold
is surprisingly cold. It's almost icy, as such. Except this one area that feels still mildly electrically charged. That's a little bit warm. But
Okay.
the whole thing itself feels quite icy, and the temperature itself, you guys, you'd be slightly cold. It's this is why I hate not understanding Fahrenheit, because I could tell you in Celsius
Do it.
how you feel. It's about 5 degrees, so it's not freezing, but it's definitely pushing cold. Like you can see your breath in
It's-
the air. It mist up a little
It's
bit.
like late October now, early November type of deal.
Yeah, it's pushing
41.
its way in to full blown winter. Like it's a lot. It feels colder than it did a few weeks ago when you first left Dundee. It definitely feels noticeably colder, but it's still not quite at the point where frost is formed. Like maybe at the dead of night you'll get frost, but not now because it's it's dusk. The sun is setting, so there's still some vague from the day left.
I have a dumb idea. Why don't we get some barrels of water and have Notad and Vaco simply breath them cold? Ice floats.
So does air. Air floats better than ice. We
True.
just fill the barrels with air. Works better. Which is basically what the floats are. They're barrels that are these sealing barrels, basically. Barrels.
Yeah.
True, but empty barrels are more breakable than ice.
Yes, this is true, but we're just crossing the river. As for the horses,
There's a question. We have the rope. Why don't we just make what's essentially a zip line? It would be easier.
How wide a river is it?
Yeah.
At its thinnest point, the river looks to be about 50 feet across.
Oh,
We
Jesus
can do it.
Christ.
This is a
How tall are the
this is
trees?
a pretty large river.
And are there trees close to the river, like big, thick trees near the river?
None like There's none like on the river banks that you couldn't use, but there are trees nearby. None of which I would say are excessively like thick. They're quite thin trees, but
So
there
we're-
would be enough that if you wanted to go and like chop down a bunch of trees, that you could theoretically start making a bridge.
Zipline would be easier.
Zipline,
Zipline a wagon?
zipline a wagon and horses? That won't work.
When we get the people across, we should probably be packing light, honestly. Especially if
No.
we're.
The problem is we still need supplies. And we still need to... We have basically a small raiding party, to put it in terms that are understandable logistically. We need enough food. We don't have a supply line. The chances of getting
on us so they don't get our horses.
the chances of getting food as we get deeper into winter are going to get less and less.
Well, I think these are good things to discuss and debate while we take a quick break.
Oh snap!
About
It
that
is
time.
time.
So, we'll be back in about 5 minutes, and then we'll figure out how we're going to push on forward. After we've had more insights to everyone's depressing character lives, except Keldor.
He just hasn't had any reason to bring anything up.
So, yeah, see you in a few minutes, everybody.
Okay.
Alrighty, welcome back, everybody, and welcome to the party. It's the name of the channel which we do these things on. If you like Welcome to the Party and its goodness, you should consider Discord down in the link below. If you join with Discord,
That's some heavy breathing there. Someone has their mic
Yeah.
too close to their mouth.
Yep, that's breath weapons.
Probably me.
Totally lost my train of thought. But Discord, yes. Join my Discord if you want to meet new people,
Discord's pretty awesome.
make awesome friends, or find people to play different tabletop.
Or just to
playing-
see people talking about stupid stuff and making it
At the
hilarious.
moment, we're talking about dire corgis.
Oh wait, what? I need to see this.
Yeah, I think someone's trying to figure out what they want halflings to ride in their campaign world, and dire corgis are like top tier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're definitely up there. But there's all kinds of great stuff. So consider joining. Good fun. Also, you can follow Welcome to the Party on Twitter to find out when various things are occurring, like the games on my channel or other things, like when we did a charity stream last month. You'd get information about that, and follow him on Twitter at Welcome Party RPG. You can also follow him here on Twitch if you're not watching Twitch at Welcome Party RPG. So that's twitch.tv/Welcome Party RPG. You can also subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/Welcome to the Party, where everything gets uploaded and sent there if you miss things. So you can catch our entire Fife adventure nonsense all there, along with like literally everything else.
It'll
So
take you more than a day, but yeah.
it'll take you
a long.
hours.
Because each
Weeks.
video is about 3 hours, roughly. There's a lot
If
of
a choice between us and Critical Role, and you're just kind of looking for what's the, I guess the amateur porn version of Critical Role, then yeah, check us out.
I think we discussed this. Like, if Critical Role is the professional porn, we're not even amateur porn. We're teenagers awkwardly fumbling with cell phones in back alleys, trying to get vague glimpses of nudity.
Hey, that can also like that's the sense of suspense right there.
Yeah,
we're.
You heard it here first. We are the underage cell phone fucking of D&D shows.
I never said underage. I said teenagers. Teenage, like it's still a teenager. We need to specify that. But that's
Say
what we
adults,
are.
please.
We're
Yeah.
the awkward trying to get the cell phone out, but you didn't really like 100% check if it was okay. But you know, you think they'd be cool with it, so it's a really like. Okay, morally, it's wrong. We're going to establish that right now. But morally, it's wrong.
Anyway,
You don't really
Anyway.
catch anything, and it's just
Moving
really bad.
along.
anyway. Fuck.
Look at that. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a distraction.
Where?
Right behind that Segway.
Yes. One last thing. Do you want to take part in what's going on stream? Do you want to affect the various things? For example, do you want to not listen to us make bad porn analogies? You should consider donating bits and guide us in various ways. Or
Tell us-
500 bits.
For 500 bits, you can tell us all to shut up for the rest of the show.
I would like to
keep making
donate a
porn.
critical to the game itself, getting you all back on task. See it roll.
Oh, I don't know. That might need 2 crits at least. But yes, for 500 bits, you can affect the game in small ways. For example, a critical hit, or recovering hit points or spell slot things. For 1,000 bits, you can affect the game in a large way. So, instant short rests and max damage and me shutting up with bad analogies. You don't want to hear my nonsense? Drop some bits and I'll shut up. So all of that said, let's jump back into the game. you guys, was there anything else you guys wanted to do before going? All right, we're gonna have some fish-based cuisine and
get
get
to
a good
bed.
sleep.
I dropped the video in the chat for you guys.
No,
But
thank you.
Other than that, no, not really.
Primrose. As more time passes, and everyone's kind of like, did anyone go and interact with Primrose? Go and find what they're doing, playing all their sad songs and whatnot, or did you all decide, no, we'll let them do them? We're all caught up in our own emotional turmoil.
Well, yeah, I would say that's actually a very accurate statement of that. As it happens, Keldor and I were currently
Right.
in the middle of hatching our best master plan of all time. And so,
Totally both think it's the most brilliant thing I ever thought of.
but we'll let you guys decide that here in a moment.
Yeah.
I don't know what's
Primrose
most
is
brilliant. I was here for.
Shush.
It was brilliant.
You did not provide input. You do not get say on whether it's good or bad.
Exactly.
Primrose has just been thinking about every single possible reaction Eliza could have to what Prim would say to Eliza.
Oh, one
So,
of those
that could be good or
situations.
bad.
Okay. Well, as the evening presses on, it starts to get a bit darker. You know, the sun like totally sets, the moon's out, and people are kind of looking to head off and get some sleep and all that good stuff. Obviously, you know, you guys can set up a watch rota. You've got enough NPCs to cover that for you, basically.
Yep, let's have the dark vision people do it.
Yeah. Eliza looks like she's getting tired, and she'll cross over to Prim. And if you're still very much in your own head, she'll try not to like surprise you or anything. She'll walk up very clearly in your vision and gently tap you on the shoulder, and she will inform you that she's probably going to be in bed soon, and to see if you're okay.
She's gonna be a bed soon.
Well, hopefully my internet stays active in the next few minutes because, oh my god. I'm going to say Prim to stop playing your song at this point.
Okay.
Did her internet just cut out already?
That would be horrible.
Oh no.
Did it?
You still there, Rebecca?
There it goes.
No.
Really?
Bye, Rebecca.
Why?
Boy, I hope my internet stays connected.
Okay, so Primrose looks like
There she
they
is.
want to say something, but they don't know how to say it. There.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. So you have this very definite look, like you were about to say something, kind of like the face most rabbits have. Because you ever notice that rabbits always look like they're just about to say something? Fucking rabbits.
That's an odd opinion there, Matt. But I'll bring it up with my
English
students
rabbits,
later.
Matt. I don't know about
To me,
American
they always look
rabbits.
like they're just. Sorry?
You lot have not spent enough time staring rabbits in the face.
Hey, I had meat pen rabbits. I didn't stare at them enough.
To me, they always look like they're about to scream in terror.
That's also true.
TJ, what are you doing to them?
Looking at them, they just have the gigantic eyes that have no lids, that are just always super round and super alert. And
See the white ones with the red eyes?
yeah, those are freaky.
Yeah, they taste good though.
So anyhow, my bad analogy aside, Eliza will kind of look at you and just very softly say, "You don't need to tell me whatever it is that you're thinking right away. I'm here. However, when you feel you can about it, please don't leave me in the dark. I'd like to know what's going on.
Okay, I only heard part of that. Fuck. Something about not something. You may need to type out whatever you said. I didn't hear any of that.
All right.
Don't let her be
Basically,
left.
she said
But maybe
you
we want
don't
her
need to tell me what you're thinking if you don't want to. When you are ready to, when you can, please do. Don't leave me in the dark.
Okay. What is the party doing? Are they going to bed or what are they doing?
I assume we're all going off to bed unless anyone specifically is not.
Well, Kid and Keldor are sitting off to the side just chatting away, trying to figure out how to get across the river.
You hear, well, if we make them jump and then I use slide on them, they'll go flying across the air. And if they don't break their legs, then we'll have gotten at least one of them across.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or there's just chattering going on over there that's vaguely disturbing.
Yeah, just a little bit. Prim is going to take it upon themselves to steal their nerves. 'Cause dang it, I'm old. I can do this shit, right?
Taking all of our nerves from us.
Prim's gonna stand up and they're gonna walk away from the fire and kind of motion Eliza to follow them, like kind of near the back of the camp where it's like quiet and nobody's around.
Okay.
So it's just two of them.
Yeah. Eliza will happily follow.
What's the weather like right now in the night?
It's
cold.
It's cold, but it's calm. There doesn't seem to be any excessive wind. There's no rain. It's almost eerily still.
Like, is the moon out? Is there a moon out? Is there
Yeah,
cloud?
the moon's out. It's partially cloudy. It's not a full moon, so it's not like there's excessive light or anything like that. But you know, it's not a pitch black sky.
Okay. Well, Prim's gonna lead Eliza out towards the back of the camp and sit in the grass. I'm assuming Eliza would follow that suit.
Yeah.
Okay. Prim's not gonna look at Eliza. They're gonna look up at the sky and focus on that while trying to say what they want to say. So, let's see if I can say what they want to say. I know it's only been a month, but what do you plan to do after this whole thing is over?
Eliza pauses as it almost looks as if she has never actually. She kind of lets out a little sigh and goes, "Huh. Guess I've really thought I don't really know even what it is we're totally trying to push. I mean, I understand the vague get rid of the nasty event, but I don't really know when it's supposed to end. let alone the chances actually even surviving or anything like that. So if I'm being completely honest, I haven't really put any thought into it. But if you were to put a blade to my throat and demand an answer right now, I suppose I'd like
Matt, you're cutting out.
sorry, it's probably me being quiet. I suppose I'd maybe, I don't know, because obviously Angus said he'd like to have us as some council, or maybe the church would need reestablishing. There's so many different possibilities that all I can really do is see where everything.
Okay. I think I heard most of that. I think. But she's not sure, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It's like she doesn't know how long this is going to take. She doesn't know if she's even going to live through all of it because it's pretty dangerous. And she doesn't really know what all of this means. It's very much she's decided to just see where things go. She doesn't want to make any definite plans because she doesn't know what this is going to accomplish in the first place. There's no point in her mind. And like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go settle down on my farm and raise multiple children and a beautiful, like, because she doesn't know. And she would rather react to things as they come rather than potentially suffer the disappointment of not getting what she has created as her goal long term.
Okay. Then Prim's going to rephrase the next question. That's not quite what they expected for the answer. Prim will take a moment to collect their thoughts on Eliza's response. I think they'll glance over at Eliza a little bit and then look away again. You seemed really upset yesterday. Or was it this morning? Was it this morning that kid almost died? I forget.
Yeah, it was this morning that kid nearly died again.
You seemed really. It's obvious that you would have been upset that kid almost died again. But there's just there's this franticness in your voice that really caught me off guard, you know?
She kind of looks a little confused by that question, and she's trying to figure it out. She goes like, well, what exactly was it?
I'm sorry, my internet bleeped out what you were saying, whatever you were saying.
Yeah, she's confused by, like, she doesn't know what it is that she said or did that alarmed you. So she's a bit like, well, what do you mean exactly?
Me as myself, what I heard you play Eliza as was like very worried and upset and like whatever you said. So I'm going off of that. But
You mean in her reaction to Kid nearly being dead?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm just confused as to what you're referring to and what you. So when Kid nearly died and Eliza rushed over and yeah, she was treating it like it was a very serious. No, you can't die. Get up, don't do it. And well, she was panicked. She doesn't want her friend to die.
Yeah. Well, Prim's going off of that. I've been thinking about all day how to bring up the competition. Damn it.
I think we lost someone again.
No, I'm just trying to think how to say it. Okay. I don't want to do that to you.
You don't want to nearly kill Kid again? Or and she pauses. She realizes the stupidness of the thing she said. Or you don't to see me worrying about what I care about dying. Someone older or vulnerable.
Prim will just kind of nod to that, like, hit on the head, kind of.
Well, Eliza pauses as she kind of looks to the ground, and you kind of see her like suck on the inside of her cheek, and almost like she's biting it, and like her hands kind of form into little fists for a moment, and it almost looks as if like she's starting to visibly shake a little bit. Her breathing kind of, but it slows, but then becomes heavy and almost erratic, like she's trying to suppress something. So it's like, and if you look closely, you will notice a few, few droplets of water fall from her face to the ground. And she very quietly mutters something to herself. It's fucking selfish.
Okay. I don't know how to respond to that.
I mean, if your response is Primrose doesn't know how to respond to that, and does generic awkward, oh, that's fine. Respond how you emotionally respond. Like you don't need to try and think of the right thing to say or the right thing to like. No, like the Primrose responds however you think they respond, and that's fine.
Okay, no, Primrose will take a moment. They're taken aback by how mad she is suddenly. I'm assuming she's mad. I don't mean to make you upset.
With that, her head will snap up and look at you. You can see that she was just crying. And she looks you dead in the eye. And her cheeks have kind of gone a little bit red. And she stares straight at you. And her body is still seething and shaking. She goes, "Well, I know you're not trying to upset me. Do you not realize how incredibly shitty and selfish that is for you to decide for both of us that you should not be worried how I'm feeling? Because I'm feeling how I'm fucking feeling!"
Oh, okay.
Once again, if you don't feel Primrose has a response, that's fine. You can be totally taken aback. This is probably the closest Eliza's shown to anything other than sweet niceness.
Primrose intentionally didn't intend to turn out like this.
No, this is fine. Yeah. If Primrose doesn't have anything to say, Eliza will continue speaking. This was just the natural point in which, if you wanted to interject, Primrose, that would be the natural point. You know, if this was a script as such, this would be, and here is the interruption. But since it's not, Eliza will continue talking. She has more to say.
I think Primrose will let Eliza vent as much as she needs to.
Yeah. Shit. Where was I on my screen? I mean, for you to just decide that if something terrible was to happen to you, that it would hurt me. Of course it would fucking hurt me. It would hurt me no matter what happened. It would hurt me if you stubbed your toe. It doesn't really matter. And you thinking that you're protecting me by just being distant and not sharing with me. It hurts me more when you reject and push me further away. It's actually, that's not how people build. We're supposed to talk to each other. We're supposed to help and support one another. And quite frankly, I don't give a fuck how old you are. I don't give a fuck if, you know, you drop dead because of how old you are tomorrow. That doesn't take away how I feel. Your age doesn't fucking matter. You okay, Rebecca?
Yeah, I'm taken aback by this response.
No, I'm just checking in because how's Primrose reacting to all of this?
Okay, speaking as a player, I finally know how Liza feels about all this, like 100%. I think. I hope I do. Reading her correctly.
Yeah, If you want to,
So as a player,
Yeah. We
I'm
heard
gonna
as
breathe in.
okay.
What?
We just heard as a player, I think, right?
Okay. I'm going to hope whatever I say comes through clearly because my internet's coming in shit.
fingers crossed.
Anyway, I've missed most of what Eliza said. That's why I'm just going off of what I understand as far as whatever. So, Prim is going to breathe in and release and kind of take in what Eliza's been saying. Has she?
Has Eliza finished talking?
Oh, well, I'm asking, has Eliza moved away from Prim, like, physically?
No. Kept the same distance they were to begin with. Hasn't taken a step back, hasn't taken a step forward.
I'm gonna reconnect real quickly to see if I can fix my video,
Alrighty.
so you don't think it's Prim cutting out.
Oh, here she comes.
Who's out there to the man-eater? Okay, I see Rebecca's just muted herself. I'm not sure if she's fixed something.
I'm trying to fix things. Fucking.
That's absolutely fine.
Okay.
Can hear you loud and clear.
Fuck, man. Okay. So whatever you said. Okay, did Eliza move away?
No, Eliza has stayed the exact same distance. She hasn't taken a step back. She's not stepped closer. Same distance.
Okay, turn my data on. Did Eliza move away?
Hooray.
No, yes, I need an answer.
Yes, can hear you.
Did Eliza move away? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Thank you. Jesus Christ. I hate this fucking internet so much. I want to wonder it. Anyway, Prim is going to breathe in, breathe out, and then pull Eliza really close and hold her really close. And then very quietly say, "Thank you for telling me how to feel. I think I understand you better now."
When you grab hold of Eliza and pull her in, first, like, her body, like, there's, like, almost a jolt that goes up and she stands up very straight. And she's like, okay, I was all hyped up and in a very heightened emotional state and wasn't expecting to be hugged and but she doesn't, like, push away or anything like that. She accepts being pulled in. You can still feel her body shivering in, I would say rage, but it's not just anger. It's kind of like just emotion. It's heaps of adrenaline pulsing through her. And you could probably feel her heart, like, beating 1,000 times a minute, as she's still very tense about the whole thing. Look, I, I, I completely understand that you didn't want to hurt or upset me, but quite frankly, because of what I feel, it would probably hurt me more if you didn't let me have these feelings than what it would be to physically lose you. For you to, if I were to lose you, not, you know, emotionally, not just physically, here, that would cut 1,000 times deeper. Because then I would spend the rest of my life wondering what I did wrong and not have memories of the time and the feelings I have had with one of the most amazing people I have ever met.
Oh man, okay. Oh.
At least if you were to just die, I'd have the memories still, and I'd know died loving. Not that I want you to die or anything. That'd really shit. But you know, at least that way, I I'd know how you felt. Not some awful me questioning every second of life.
Prim's going to sigh and think about what Eliza's saying. And all right. Ask for your opinion. This is a good idea. I'm gonna spend whatever time I have left, 100%, not caring about it. Not caring about being gone one day.
I mean,
The dark horse method.
Eliza is starting to physically calm down now. She's still shaking a little bit, but that is starting to feel less about the emotion and more its action. And you know, she's feeling that cold a lot stronger now because she'd gotten so pent up. So it's like, ooh, now it's colder, at least to her. She goes, well, obviously, like, you go and do anything stupid and get yourself hurt or anything ridiculous.
No.
But, you know, worrying about how long something would last to the extent where it stops you enjoying it. I don't want to sound mean, but that's really stupid. I mean, why would I stop myself eating the best cake I have ever had thinking, well, if I eat too much of it now, then there won't be any left later. And then I spend forever picking at it and just little crumbs here and there. By the time that I eventually finish the cake, it's long gone off and it's not worth enjoying. I'd much rather have as much of it as I can and it be gone. And then at least I had it. In this metaphor, you're the cake, by the way.
Eliza's made Prim laugh a little bit at that point.
I mean,
Don't forget. Don't forget I do love you.
she kind of pauses at that, and she kind of looks down, and then back up at you and goes, and I mean,
You don't have to say anything. I know how you feel. I hope I know how you feel.
no, it's in, I don't if I know what love is, if you know, like yes, I loved my mom and dad, but to have love for in a non-platonic sense is a very strange concept to me. If I'm honest, it's something I've never really understood. Kind of one of the reasons I kind of went into doing all this church because everyone else was off to get married and children, and I didn't exactly grow up being people's first choice to go to dances with. Non-platonic love is a concept I really only know about in theory, but I think I know how it's supposed to feel, and I think what I feel. I'm bad with words, and you've made me feel really awkward now. So we like, well, before we go and get into bed, can you just like kiss me or something?
They're still on the ground. I think so. Prim is going to I'm glad now I'm not on camera right now. I'd be blushing at the storm. Prim is gonna say I can do one better, and kind of just tumbles with Eliza and then kisses her.
Okay.
Does Eliza have tumble as a skill?
No.
Huh?
Oh, I hope this doesn't hurt her.
No, not like a tumble, just like wait, roll over. Something cute. Like shut up.
Cutesy. Yeah, I get it. It's very cute. As you're being cute, Eliza will just say, "This is really cute, and I'm enjoying it. But I am currently so cold. I feel my nipples could cut through my armor and probably through several sheets of glass. Can we somewhere warm?"
No doubt we can use Eliza as a piercing weapon.
Right now, I feel quite honestly colder than Mother Margaret's drawers.
Please don't say that. Oh my god, no. It's
Dryer.
connected to fire.
I'm gonna keep making her make awkward similes to describe how cold she is.
No, please just
Uh
finish.
huh.
No, let's cut to black. You go off to bed and you have a wonderful time,
Yeah.
and Eliza is no longer cold.
Okay.
When
Cool.
I-
Yep. That sounds good.
That
Sounds
works.
good to me.
When I finally know they're distracted, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
When it's clear that they have left and are distracted, I get up out of my bedroll where I've been lying down, looking like I'm asleep but still fully clothed.
God damn it.
And
You masturbate furious. No.
no, that was last
Okay, I'm
night.
going away.
And no, I'm going to actually proceed sneakily through the camp, and I'm going to go over to where Meat Sprinkles is sleeping. Is he sleeping near anybody?
Oh no.
Oh God, no.
Meat Sprinkles will
Oh, we
be
should
in
send-
a tent with Kid, I'm assuming, if at this point Kid has gone to bed.
It's the dark tent, yes.
Meat Sprinkles has very poorly scrolled that on the side of the one tent, and he's drawn a really awkward picture of a horse, but its legs are too long.
and its
'Cause he
head is
doesn't
like
really-
bent.
Yeah, but there is a tent marked the Dark Tent, and Meat Sprinkles has drawn like really crude pictures, one of Kid and one of him, and there's like little happy smiley faces and love heart, like not like, yeah, screw it, there's love hearts. He doesn't really know what they mean.
Bleeding a little bit, but
Okay. Does it seem like anybody's awake in the tent when I approach from outside? And I
no.
will be moving silently and hiding at this point, if you want rolls for that.
No, it's fine. You can roleplay this.
Okay. Then, yeah, I'm going to move up super sneakily, and when I get outside the tent, I'm just going to crouch down, and I'm going to whisper in, and I'm going to say, "Hey, Dork Pony, wake up."
I don't want to go to Goblins. Mommy.
No cookies for you. We're learning stuff tonight. This is some rogue shit. Come on.
His eyes kind of pop up, and he goes, "What? God."
Well, that's a first, but I could get used to it. Sure, let's go.
Yes, Lord, guide me.
Oh,
And he pulls himself out. He
Bring
doesn't
your
even get.
backpack. We may need some food.
He throws a backpack on and kind of steps out and goes, "Ow. Hello, Flick.
Yeah, it's me. Let's go.
Your God."
It's about time you figured it out.
oh no.
He kind of looks at you and goes, "Yes." And he will happily march off following you with his backpack on.
This is a terrible idea.
What are you
Alright,
going to do?
so-
I'm scared for him.
Before we leave camp, I make careful note of which way is downstream. We head downstream. So
Yep.
we're heading off into the woods, and the entire point of this, as soon as we get to like the edge of the camp, I like put my arm out in front of him and stop him like he's about to step on a trap,
Mhm.
and then I go quiet, and then I start like exaggerated move silently through the woods, like being careful not to step on anything, like do like me. Follow, this is like rogue training. We're going through the woods. We're trying to out silence each other, right?
Yeah.
And so I get him playing this little ninja game with me, and we go on until we're, if he's just going to follow me, I'm just going to go until we're at least like a kilometer away from the camp, keeping the river off to our edge somewhere so that I know the way back,
Mhm.
and so that we know the way back. And as we get as we get to about a good distance, say a kilometer or so, well out of sight, I'm going to bring this game to sort of a like casual end. I just kind of sort of stop doing it in like a clearing somewhere, and
Are you getting cold meat sprinkles?
I get a more serious look on my face, and then I look at Meat Sprinkles, and not right up next to him or anything, and I just look at him, and as he like I assume comes into the clearing after me, I say,
Yeah.
Okay. here's the serious part. All right? If you're going to stick around, we need to know that we can trust you.
Meat Sprinkles
We
kind
need
of
to-
like close, like his eyes kind of narrow, and he looks like he goes. Meat Sprinkles hasn't stabbed you in kidneys and taken all of your food. Is this not trust? Or do you need more?
Oh,
Meat
he
Sprinkles
got
can do
muted
more.
again.
You muted again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
It's my catchphrase for this game. Can you hear me now? Look for my new album on Spotify. Can you hear me now? So I led that in with the wrong line. Do you mind if we retcon that for a second?
Go right ahead. This is your
Okay.
show.
I did have a whole plan for this, and I fucked it up by doing the wrong line first. Okay, so same feeling and everything, but when I look up at Meat Sprinkles, I don't say, if you're going to stick around, we need to know we can trust you. I say, here's the thing, dude. Like, you see how this party is, right? You see what these people are like?
Meat Sprinkles, once again, he stops and thinks, goes, ah. Yes. Hot mess of disaster waiting to happen.
Pretty much, right? So when you were living with those goblins, who killed more people in a shorter amount of time? Us or them?
Divine people.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. I know you don't really see, well, anything as people. Is anybody but you people in goblin heads? Like, I'm not quite sure how that works.
I think that's a mildly racist comment.
But is it wrong?
For my particular tribe, no.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But Meat Sprinkles is not his tribe.
Of course not. Why do you think you're here with me? Okay? Us little people got to stick together. That's why I got you out of there. We don't have many chances here, buddy. Like, as soon as they turn on us, what chance do you think we have? As soon as they decide that we're no longer of value to them, they're going to kill us like they killed the rest of your goblin tribe. How many little people have we come across that we haven't murdered violently?
Meat Sprinkles' jaw just drops and is agape as he goes,
and you're not even the same color as them. I at least have the advantage, right? Come on. Like, who do you think they're going to go for first? But not me. I have your back, bluff check.
go right ahead.
That's why we rolled the bluff check.
Before you even asked to roll, Meat Sprinkles was 100% down to believe you because you put in the work, but you rolled a nat 1. So Meat Sprinkles kind of shakes his hand and goes,
yes,
Master, Dark Horse would never hurt Pony.
Oh? Because he was looking out for you so well in the last fight, right? Do you actually think you're more to them than just another sword? You can't really be that. I thought you were the smart one.
I guess that's another bluff check.
Yes.
That's better.
Okay. Okay, here's the thing, buddy. Like, we can't go back. There's no way. Like, we're not gonna make it across this river tomorrow even, let alone into the future. We're going to ruins. You saw what they did to get the fish yesterday? We are bait to them. We just can't see the hook. So here's the thing. You and me, we're gonna go right now. We're gonna start a new life. We're gonna watch each other's backs. We're gonna be thick as thieves, and I'm gonna teach you all the thieving ways that you don't know, because it seems like you know a lot yourself already. And we're just gonna make it work. Like, we have skills between us. The two of us can do things that these guys can't. We can survive in different places, but we can't survive in some of the places that they're gonna try and take us. So we have to go, you and me, right now. You got all your stuff.
Reaches a hand behind his neck and rubs a back bit and kind of scratches the back of his head. He goes, I'm scared.
You should
Only-
be scared.
The only people who have ever not hurt meat sprinkle. And even that's not strictly true.
I was about to say.
Dark Horse threatened to push me in fire, but only once. Only people who have not hurt meat sprinkles repeatedly.
Keldor hasn't touched him.
Everybody gets one.
And meat sprinkles kind of holds his hands out and looks at them and realizes like he is this green color, and then looks at you and goes, "Meat, I don't look like everyone. How will I be accepted? What if other places don't accept me, Sprinkles?" Only place I feel safe is with you, Guy. But if you don't think it's safe, Meat Sprinkles will travel with you, friend.
I think I got a roll for this one. Flick looks very suddenly internally conflicted from going very, very confident in this sales pitch he was giving to being like, shit. Sense motive.
Go right ahead.
And
Sense
then all of a sudden, a look comes across my face, and I'm like, hold on, am I getting the runaround? And another good one!
that one.
Oh,
You are 100% determined that there is no possible way that Meat Sprinkles is capable of anything other than being a lying piece of shit.
Oh dear.
All right, so from sudden confliction across my face to like, can I really do this? To wait, I'm being grifted. All right, nope, you're right, man. Okay. I know how you're feeling. They do put on a good show sometimes, and I'm right back into the sales pitch. They almost make it seem like we're part of them. Whatever that is, whatever that happens to be, whatever that big people's club is. But you and me know we have a different angle. We see things from a different point of view. I'm telling you. And I actually go and I put like an arm around his shoulder and I start kind of walking him like in the same direction we were going. No tricks, no nothing. My other hand's out in front of him. My right hand is flopping around in plain view of his eyes, so he knows I'm not positioning for a backstab. And
yeah,
because he's a rogue like me. I'm sure he's looking at the same things. He's probably been stabbed in the back literally before. And I just started trying to walk him off into the sunset and like just picking a trail through here. And after a minute or two of me just continuing this, yeah, it's going to be great. I'm going to teach you everything I know. I'm going to teach you how to get in. Did I ever tell you about the time that we snuck in, we took this place? And as a minute or two after I do that, I reach into my backpack casually and I pull out my flask and I pull up my shot glasses. And I take the bottom two shot glasses and I put the top two back in my bag. And I fill the two shot glasses that remain. And I give the one that is now on top of the stack to Meat Sprinkles. And I take the other one and I offer him a cheers if he takes it. And I say, to our new life where no one is going to step on us anymore. We're going to be on top.
Meat Sprinkle.
He definitely gets a sense motive.
Yeah.
That's not what you rolled.
No, it is. He goes, "Me, I would like to be on top once. Cheers!"
Cheers!
And I toss mine back.
Yep, he takes his drink.
All right.
And then I start pouring us a second, and I continue right on with the sales pitch and walking. No initial damage from the poison he just ingested.
Mm-hmm.
Secondary damage is unconsciousness. So, as we proceed down this trail, you can describe it however you like, but he begins to lose consciousness.
Yeah. As you guys keep walking, eventually, he drops back a little bit and he goes, "Ugh, I'm sleep. You put something in drink." And collapse.
Oh, if only you'd realized it before you drank it. So, I stop and I turn around and I kind of. Here we are. So now, the question becomes, and I go over to meet Sprinkles and I lean down and I put my hands under his shoulders and I start dragging him over towards the edge of the river. And I plop him down on the shore. Then I look around for a flattish rock that I could roll my dice on. And I think I have my actual dice around here. Yeah, there we go.
TJ, you've muted yourself again.
There we go. So I find this flattish rock and I kneel down next to it and I open my pouch. Oh, and I take my 2 dice out and I go,
Your call.
and I roll the dice.
Okay.
And I proceed to pick Meat Sprinkles up and chuck his limp body in the river.
All right. I will describe one final thing, but then we're going to have to call it a session there.
Yeah, sorry to take up the end of it. I know you guys wanted to build that bridge or whatever you were going to do.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's perfect stuff to start next time. As you push Meat Sprinkles into the river, one folded up piece of paper falls out of his pocket. And
I reach down and grab it if I can.
It's more scrunched and crumpled.
Okay.
But the picture drawn on it is a rather crude. There's one which is obviously meant to be him because he has little pointed ears and sharp teeth. And then the other person in it is about the same size as him. And at the top it says "My Dream," and it shows the 2 crude stick figures kind of hugging, and in the hand that is attached to the other person is like a bag with like a gold coin sign on it, and you've both got little like bandit masks on as you watch his body slowly float downstream.
Is this a picture of me and him?
Yup.
Nicely done there, Philip.
Oh, son of a bitch!
And with that, we're going to call it a session right there. We'll find out what the hell.
Nicely done, Flick.
Thank you very much, everybody, for showing up. If you like Welcome to Party, follow them on Twitter at WelcomePartyG. Join me Discord down below. You can follow them on Twitch here at twitch.tv/WelcomePartyG and subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/WelcomeToParty. You can also follow myself, on Twitter at The Bardic Knock, on Twitch, where I sometimes stream. I'm currently working my way through a fantasy series at The Bardic Knock, so twitch.tv Bardic Knock, on YouTube, The Bardic Knock. And if you want to give me money because you think I'm essentially a charity case, please consider donating to my Patreon at patreon.com/The Bardic Knock. Archer streams as well on his Twitch channel, which is Archer
the Eye. Everything you want from me is Archer the Eye. You look it up, I'm the only thing that shows up.
And that includes your DeviantArt, where you do lovely, lovely artwork, which we sometimes display during our breaks as well. Then the other artist of note who has provided great stuff for us is Thomas-Safe Zone on Tumblr, who did the artwork for Kid
the Dark Horse.
Yep. So if you want stuff done good, done reasonably priced, and done quick, Thomas is a good guy to get sorted out for that.
After he's done with working on what he's working on for me right now, and that's going to be a while.
Is there anything else I need to mention? I think I mentioned everything. Is that all the plugs?
I think that's it for now.
All right, let's go do a raid to. I didn't think so. I'm just going to assume on the forefront. That sounds good to me. / raid. Come on, let's spell mats. Yes, autocorrect didn't notice it. No, come on, click the autocorrect. It's not working. Yeah, just come on, you stupid thing. There. So we're gonna go raid them, and we will see you all next time. Until then, stay safe and happy adventuring, everybody.